Oh, it's okay. It's filming it right there. This is Stalin's daughter. Okay,
Svetlana.
What's her name?
Svetlana.
Svetlana, and she just passed away a year ago.
Yeah, down here at Pine Valley.
Down at Pine Valley, and her father was actually Stallin.
Yes.
And we're in the town of
Richland Center.
Richland Center, Wisconsin, and today is the
12th, was it?
12th of November 2012.
She died in 11/22 last year.
Wow. And then you were personal friends with her, with Svetlana. And then this is her granddaughter.
No, this is her daughter.
This is her daughter, which is would be. And then
she lives in Idaho.
And she lives out in Idaho. Mm-hmm. And you became acquainted with them. How did you become acquainted with them?
Well, like I said, it was kind of accidental. She lived.
I'm going to record it just so I can tell kids. How did you become acquainted with her?
She lived in one of the old people's houses, one of the elderly houses.
Sure.
She had no money.
Wow.
Because the only money she had is she wrote books. She had written books, and then they sort of, she didn't know about how to go about keeping this. And so she ended up with no money.
Wow.
I mean, she had money at one time.
Right.
When she first came here, she came to New Jersey.
Yeah.
And then Frank Lloyd Wright, you know about him?
Yeah, I know who he is, the architect. Yep.
His wife, I mean, he was dead by this time, but his wife found out about her and wanted her to come because she thought she had a lot of money.
Oh, gosh.
And and her Mrs. Wright's son-in-law, his wife had died, which would have been, his name was Peters.
Right.
And when they found out she didn't have any money, they were very angry, and she had this daughter with Peters.
Oh.
And that made her very angry.
Oh, I see.
This is right.
Yeah. Wow.
And so for a time, she moved back to New Jersey.
Oh.
And then...
did she ever speak about what she thought about her father?
Oh, yeah.
What'd she say?
She would tell me all the time, all the time.
Oh.
Until she was old enough to kind of have a mind of her own,
right.
Her father was very good to her.
Oh.
And would bring her presents and things,
Sure.
But she never really saw a lot of him.
Uh-huh.
And her mother killed herself when she was 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
They were having a big party with all these, and her dad said, her father said something to her mother. Her mother left the party, and then they found her later. She had killed herself.
Oh, wow. And so what was her opinion about, I mean, obviously she knew about the brutality of the...
Yes, she did. I mean, she told me many stories about, like, how her...
Is that why she left, or...?
Well, possibly. I don't know exactly. She got very, disappointed with it. That she left.
I see.
But, I'm taking medication.
It makes your mouth dry, yeah.
Anyway, she met this man. She had been married like 3 times. She met this man from India when she was still in Russia, and he died. He was older. He died, and so she got permission to go with his body back to India.
Oh.
And so she stayed there in India for a while. And one night they were having a party, some bigwigs, and she didn't feel well, so she stayed home. And that night she went to the American Embassy so she could come here, come to the United States.
Right.
And of course it was all a big hooboo because the United States didn't know what to do about it. They knew that Russia would be very angry.
Oh, for her to defect and come. Yeah.
First they took her to Switzerland, just briefly.
Oh.
And then, but they did. They
ended up.
Her to come. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That is just amazing. And her name is what again? Svetlana Peters. And what was her name when was that actually her name when she was in Russia, or was it Peters, or was it?
She had like I say, she was married 3 times. I can't remember all the
original name. Obviously, her maiden name is Stalin, right?
That was her original name.
Yeah,
Stalin.
Yeah, Svetlana.
Although Stalin.
Did she have any brothers or sisters at all?
She had one brother, and his father wanted him to be very manly and put him in the army, and he drank himself to death.
Oh, wow.
And everything was kind of like that.
Wow. Oh, yeah, that's alcoholism.
Relatives and everything were put in jail, and
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I mean, she would always tell me these stories. She did write some books. I'll show you.
Okay. I'll film them, and then that way
I've got 2 of her books that she wrote.
Uh-huh.
And you can probably get them off the internet if you'd ever feel that.
Only 1 year.
Alluvia, that was her mother's name.
Huh. That has a striking, looks a lot like Alleluia.
Yeah, it does. That's what she always said. It's spelled a lot like Alleluia.
Huh. It is. It is.
There she is when she was younger.
Wow. 20 letters to a friend. Huh. Wow. That's amazing. And it was originally written, obviously, in Russian because it says it was translated by Paul.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his last name.
I can't either. These Russian names you can't pronounce.
Wow. And I want to put on record. Let's see here. I am at Marie. What's your last name, Marie?
Anderson.
Marie Anderson's house in Richland Center, Wisconsin, and we did an interview. And this was an interesting interview. Is it okay if I share this with other people?
Sure.
Okay, because it was kind of fun.